Assembly instructions for the Nestle baking tower. Open the shipper. Inside the shipper you will have one complete unit which will consist of a header card, a petition set, a footer, 2 top shelf pads, second shelf angled pad. There will be 4 shelves. 2 will have the Nestle logo, the 3rd will have a Baker's Corner logo, and then the 4th will have the Placer logo. Also in the shipper will be 4 inner support pads to go inside the trays, and 1 unit which is glued. First step to the assembly of the tower is to remove all the parts at the back, which are where the shelves will be locked into. This will help you insert the shelves into the slots. Also remove the side pieces where the tower will lock back into itself, and these will allow the shelf to be well fixed into the tower. What we want to do then is we want to pre-fold some of the elements on the tower, which makes it easier to work with. We're starting with the bottom flaps. We pre-fold those upwards. This helps when we're inserting the petition set into the tower. Then next we're working to the side parts, and we're also removing the pieces where it allows us to insert the front panel. What we do next is we stand the unit up and we turn it to its final shape. We're pre-folding the side flaps. This will allow us to insert these and lock them in position once the trays are in place. And we'll do this process for both left and right hand side. Ensure with the top part that we be careful with it, as it's got a little bit of material there and it could potentially rip. Okay, step 1, we get the front panel. We want to pre-fold the side tabs, and we can fold the top and the bottom tab, and this will allow us to insert the front panel onto the tower. We first start and fold to 90-degree angles to follow the shape of the insert. We start to insert and then we return and open up that tab, and that'll lock it in place. And we repeat the same process on the other side, ensuring that it's firmly in place, and then ensuring that you open up that tab side, and this will hold in the front panel. Step 2, we get the 2 petition parts. We fold them to 90-degree angles and we insert one on top of the other. This will lock them into place. Once we've done that, we want to then place this into the bottom of the unit. The easy way to do this is from top, and then we drop it in. Ensure that it's firmly located and the front panel lip can fold down on top. Step 3, we want to pre-fold all the tabs on the sides of the shelves, as we're doing here. This will help insert the shelves into the tower and also make it easier to form the shelf itself and make it look nice and straight in the display. We're also going to pre-fold where the shelf will form its lip, and what we're doing, that will help the shelf keep its shape while in place on the tower. What we then do is we then get the inner pad, which also has another area, and this part here is also pre-cut to make it easy to fold and into the shelf. This adds strength to the shelf for the display to hold all the product. We open it back up again. We then fold the two little tabs inwards at a 90 degree angle to each other. We then get the inner shelf pad. We then overlay this over top of each of those small tabs. We then bring the other part of the shelf back over itself to form the shelf as shown here.
Okay,
so just before we put the shelves into the tower, we just want to gently pull forward the tabs at the back of the unit. This will help relax the material a little bit and also make it easier to insert the shelves into the unit to lock it in place. So what we do is we start with the bottom shelf to build first, and that one is the Baker's Corner website one. Ensure that we push it to the back, and we want to lock in the bottom part of the shelf into that tab that we've just pulled forward on the display. Then what we're going to do with the side parts is make sure that they sit into the tower, and you might have to jiggle around the partition set so that it locks into place properly. Just gently but forcefully push it into place, and that will hold the shelf. Then what we want to do is with the side parts, we want to fold that to a right angle and carefully locate that across and then lock it into place. Repeat the process on the other side. And this will keep the shelf secure in position and also help to place in the second shelf. Then move upwards to the second bottom shelf, and this one is with the Plaistow logo. Again, moving the shelf into the unit. This one we want to push right to the back. Again, sort of trying to reposition the back bottom lip into those slots on the side at the back of the unit. Push it down, not all the way, then locate the front of the shelves, sides of the shelves into the side panels. Firmly push down into place. Double check. Then fold back into a 90-degree angle the side part. Again, push back, lock into place, and repeat on the other side. We then repeat these for the second shelf and the top shelf of the tower to complete the shelving into the tower. So with the third shelf, again, following the example of the previous two shelves, this one has the Nestle logo on it. We then push it back to the tower, back of the tower. Again, the first thing is just to pull those flaps forward so we can locate the back of the shelf into position, then push down. And then ensure that the side tabs of the shelf are being inserted in between the return of the side flaps of the tower. Then use a bit of force to push the shelf into position. Double check, then get the flap forward, fold it, and then lock into position. Repeat the process on the other side, and this will lock the shelf securely in position. Lastly, the top shelf. Again, we repeat the same process. Securing the shelf into place. There we go. And then just with the top one, be careful just to force it across. And again, lock into place.
You showed the view.
And one last step is to then insert the header card. Lock the header card in position. We then get the two smaller square shelf pads, pre-fold the sides where the cut marks are shown. This will help locate the pads onto the top shelf. And then we fold the last angled shelf pad for the second shelf. Again, pre-folding the creased areas. And position this into the unit. And there you have it, the finished Easter baking towel, made easy.